there's a constant theme. I just kind of flipped through them. This one, where do you or did your children attend school? If not metro schools, why not? And if metro schools, why? And yes, everybody. We'll start with Mr. Crafton.
And I knew this question would come up, but you know what the real important question is, and I'm going to answer the question, but the real important question is if your children are not in public school, why are they not in public school? And where would you really like them to be able to go? Well, the answer for me is I would love for my daughter to be able to go to Gower, Bellevue, and Hillwood, no question. I applied for Meg's magnet school for my daughter this past year. She finished 300th on the wait list, and there were a total of 500 children on the wait list for that academic magnet. So I wanted to participate. I was shut out from that avenue. So my daughter goes to Christ Presbyterian Academy. They have an excellent academic record. Their average ACT score is 28, where it's 18 in Metro. And I can have a Christ-based focused education as well as an academically rigorous education. Both those are important to me. Public schools no longer allow any kind of Christ-based education. So
religion in the school.
So mine's a long story, but I'll try and give you the Reader's Digest version in 60 seconds. Our children started off in M&PS, and then the system was getting ready to make a lot of changes with regard to site-based management. And we were also busting out of our first little tiny house. So we packed up and moved to Williamson County, which we all know is the panacea of large houses and great public education. So we enrolled in Williamson County schools. We felt like our daughter lost about a year going in Williamson County schools, and our son, who loved math, when he went in to tell his teacher that he learned at home that you can't divide a number by 0, she said, "Oh, that's not right." So the math teacher didn't know a very fundamental math fact, and in addition to that, she didn't take this little guy by the hand and say, "Let's go find out what the next grade up is doing in math and see if we can't engage you a little further in this thing that you love." So at the same time, we were going through First Communion training at our church for our son, and we said, gee, we're not happy with these public schools either, and maybe we need a little more religion in our life, and so we put them in Catholic schools. Ultimately, they graduated. One graduated from MBA, one graduated from Hartmouth Hall, and one's graduated from Vanderbilt, and one's a rising senior at Vanderbilt. We're very pleased with the education that they got, but that's why I have been working tirelessly since that experience so that everybody else's kid can get a great education.
As I've mentioned, I have 2 kids at Gower. One is a rising kindergartner and the other is a rising 3rd grader. My husband and I made a conscious decision to select a public school. We think it's very important. We both attended public schools, and we were interested in our children being exposed to diversity, and by diversity I mean not just racial diversity, but also socioeconomic diversity, and we have had a great experience at Gower. Our school has over 20 different countries represented at it, which was surprising to me given where we live. And we have a wide range of socioeconomics, and I think it's very important for our children to have a real-world experience and learn compassion and learn tolerance from being in public schools.
Let me see if I got this right. We got 2 candidates that do not send their kids to the school system. I mean, that's like somebody works at Ford Motor Company and they drive a Buick. I mean, that's hard for me to believe. Now, my oldest daughter, we were at Millington Central High School in 1975. That's in Shelby County. The biggest change in American history education took place at that time. She was 28 years old. And I didn't ask for this fight, but it was integration. They integrated the schools. My daughter was in the 4th grade. Yeah, I could have pulled her out and sent her to Winter County, or I could send her over to the Catholic school. She stayed in that school. Now, that's what educators do. Now, they can send out all this propaganda, you can read all you want to. But I'm telling you, as an educator, You stay with the program. You stay with education. You make it better. Sure, we have some bad days. Just like I had to sit there as a 28-year-old guy and fight integration. We had the worst fights you've ever seen among students. And I sit there in a faculty meeting and told them, you black teachers, quit protecting the black kids. You white teachers, quit protecting the white kids. Because we are educators and we educate all. We don't run from the system. My daughter's sitting here today, graduated from the University of Tennessee. And see, she continued her education in a public school. Now you go ahead and vote for these people if you want to, that's fine with me. Because if I'm not elected, I got a tea time the next morning, so it's not going to hurt me.
My turn.
Yes.
For those of you who are left, I commend you. I would like to say that my 3 grown children, as you can tell, I might have grown children, all attended public schools in Nashville, some during the integration period, and they stayed in the public system, and all 3 graduated from, guess where? This school, Hillwood High School, all 3. My wife and I, of an earlier age, went to public schools in Pennsylvania and New Jersey, Atlantic City High School, Frankfurt High School in Philadelphia. So I'm well aware of public schools, and that's my problem. I really know so much about public education that I sometimes stammer over the answer to these questions because I don't know where to dig in. But I will say that I'm going to make one last reference, if you'll give me that opportunity, since there's no time limit on these, that I believe education begins in the home, and until you can give some program or programs that help the parents do better jobs in sending their children to school, well, if they're from Percy Priest or from Westmead Elementary, they do well. But if they're from other schools, and I won't mention the names, they might not do so well. And that's bothersome to me. So I think there ought to be some program to help those parents do a better job in sending their children to us. And I know that Eric Crafton's bitch about the tutoring is good. I'm not opposed to teachers tutoring, more so, but I really believe we haven't looked at the whole issue of parental tutoring.
Hey Beth, just as a point that people might want to know, since people were kind of getting on their horse about my child went to public school and mine didn't, you'll be interested to know that both Mayor Bredesen and Mayor Dean's children didn't go to public school. So I don't know that that in itself is a qualification to be a school board member. It's your passion about public education and your commitment to the community. And so I think everybody up here has that, and I think that's a fair statement that everybody would like to see the schools improve.
Eric, I really don't care where Carl Dean's son went to school. You know, that's not the issue.
The question was asked, where did your kids go to school? So you have to respond to that, I believe.
And I did, and I think it's irrelevant. I mean, if your daughter went to school 40 years ago to public school, it's different.
And I think everybody did answer the question.